Hey crazy people and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided, as you can probably tell by the Disney ears, that I've decided to do a Disney video. I'm going to Disneyland Paris in September. I literally can't wait. I haven't been to Disneyland Paris in like 2 years now. Like fair enough, I was in Disneyland Orlando last year, so I can't really complain. But me and Jen are going on our annual trip to Disneyland Paris this year in September. Usually we go in like the winter months, so we usually do it either the start of December or the very end of November. The first ever time we went the day after Halloween. So I decided to do kind of like Disney tips, I suppose, like how I afford to go, what it costs me, XYZ, who I fly with, where I fly to, hotels that I've stayed in, because I've never actually, well, me and Jen, when we've never stayed in an actual Disney hotel. We usually stay in like hotels or apartments that are like around the area rather than paying to stay in a hotel, like of a Disney hotel, because usually we just can't afford it. I'm going to go through all of that, and I'm also going to go through who I usually buy my tickets off, and if I'm not buying tickets, the annual pass that I usually get. So first things first, I'm going to start with tickets. So I buy my tickets off attractionticketsdirect.ie. I haven't bought my Disneyland tickets off them in a while. I usually get an annual pass for Disneyland Paris. For Walt Disney World Orlando, I bought my tickets off them when I went last year. So the tickets, I just have like a list here of everything so that I know what I'm talking about. So when I went last year, I got them off, obviously off Attraction Tickets Direct. I bought the combo ticket, which is the Disney, so it's the 6 park that Disney have, and it's the 3 parks that Universal have. So in total you get 9 parks, and the price of that in euro is 789 at the minute per adult and 759 per child. Now you're probably thinking, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. With that you get Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Magic Kingdom, the Disneyland Studios, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, and you also get Universal's Studios or Islands of Adventure and Volcano Bay. So that's 3 water parks and 6 roller coaster parks. So it's really good value, and you also get like lovely little extras. You get the Fast Pass Plus for Disneyland, which means that you have 30 days before your trip you can book all your fast passes. You do it through online and you reserve fast passes 30 days before you even have to go, so you have that already in your head. You have that already booked, and when you go, then you just go at the time and the day and you get on the ride. You also get a memory maker. So the memory maker is all the pictures that you get taken by the photographers who are in the park, and also the pictures that are taken while you're on rides. I will insert some pictures here of some of the pictures that we got last year, so here's a few of them now. They're such high quality pictures. They're done by professional photographers, and it's just really like value for money, because each picture usually, if I'm right, is like, for a small one that's like a magnet, which when I'm in Disneyland Paris we would usually get, it's like a tenner for the one picture. So like when you think about all the rides that you go on and all the lovely photo opportunities you can get done, it's a lot of money when it adds up. Like when you buy a kids ticket, you also get a Walt Disney World autograph book free with every kids ticket, and as well at the minute they're doing a deal where you get a $20 gift card to spend in any of the Disney stores for each ticket that you buy. So it's really worth the money. And the memory maker that for the photos is also worth $200, so that alone, like if you even took that out of the price of the ticket, brings it down to $500, and you're getting 9 parks in total. Like you get the 6 Disney and the 3 Universal, so it's definitely value for money. And I trust Attraction Tickets Direct so much. I book all of my tickets with them. I've bought my tickets for PortAventura with them. In the past I bought all my tickets for Disneyland Paris. I bought my tickets for Universal and for Disneyland Orlando, so I 100% trust them. And we booked last year to go with them. We paid a $25 per person deposit, and then we had up until 6 weeks before we went to pay off the rest of the balance. So you can chip away. It's not as like they expected to pay everything up front, which when you book tickets with other companies they usually do. And it's just a great service. Like everything, they're so lovely because when you're speaking to them on the phone or booking it and everything, like they're so helpful and all. And I would 100% advise you to book with Attraction Tickets. Obviously this is not sponsored, because I don't even feel like I have to say that, but I think you have to like highlight when things aren't sponsors. But obviously because I'm talking about them, people will assume, but I can guarantee it's not sponsored. I wish. So in terms of Disneyland Paris, they also do tickets for Disneyland Paris. They do a 1-day 2-park ticket, a 2-day 2-park ticket, and all the way up to 4 days 2 parks. So for the 1-day 2-park ticket, it is $67 for an adult ticket and a child ticket. For a 2-day 2 park, it is 160 for an adult and 148 for a child. And for the 4-day 2 park, it is 234 for an adult and 216 for a child. So when you think about like it works out. You get both parks that are in Disneyland Paris, and obviously that lets you avail of the fast pass series that's in Disneyland Paris. It's a little bit different to Disneyland Orlando because you don't have to pre-book your fast passes. You just do it. Like the rides have fast pass machines, so you can just go up and put your ticket in, and it'll give, once you have a Disney ticket, it'll give you a fast pass. But yeah, I 100% would advise you to book with attraction tickets direct. And now onto what I usually do in terms of tickets. Because when I go to Disneyland Paris, we usually go for about 5 days, and the tickets don't go up as high as that. The most they do, most places do, is a 4-day ticket. So I would have to buy a 4-day ticket and then another 1-day ticket. In the long run, it doesn't really benefit me that greatly. So what I usually get, so Disneyland Paris have recently changed their annual passes. Originally that was the fantasy, I can't remember them all. It was fantasy something and dream, and I had, or something fantasy dream, magic fantasy and dream, something along the lines of that. And anyways, and I had the dream pass. This is my pass from a few years ago, if you can just see it there. I'm just covering the details. It's out of date since the 30th of the 4th 2017. And this was my second one. So the way they do it is, when you buy an annual pass, if you also get 4 people to sign up, they get money off their passes and you get your next pass for free. So I got this one for free, and I had paid for the original one, so it's really beneficial. And I paid 250 for this. Was it 250? Yeah, I paid 250 for the dream pass, and that gets you access to the park 365 days of the year. You get 10% off in shops, 10% off in restaurants, something like 20% off in hotels, free parking, extra magic hours, and a few other little bits and bobs. You got discounts off the shows and things like that. But so they've changed them now, and they've added on new ones. So now they have, I'm just reading it off my phone, sorry. They have the Discovery, they have the Magic Flex, they have the Magic Plus, and they have the Infinity. The Infinity is the most expensive one, coming in at 450, but that gets you access to the park for 365 days of the year. You get privileged car park, you get 20% off in the shops, 108 as like a starting point for the rooms in the hotel, 20% off 1-day tickets, annual photo pass for free, 15% off in restaurants, 20% off Buffalo Bills, Disney Golf, blah 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 blah. So the one that me and Jen are going for this year is the Magic Plus. So the Magic Plus, you can pay €22 a month, or it is 300 in total. So I think we're going to pay it by month. That gives us access to the park for 350 days of the year. We get use of the car park. We have 10% off in the shops. We have rooms starting at 130, a 1-day ticket with a 20% discount. We get the annual pass for 59. I think it's, is it 80 or 90 by itself, and we get it for, where's it gone? We get it for 59, and we get 10% off in restaurants, 20% off the Buffalo Bills show, and so on and so forth, and all the rest. So that is what we're going to do this year, because it just works out better for us, because we're going for 5 days, so it just benefits us better. But I would definitely, if you're going for any more than 4 days, 100% just get the annual pass, because the discounts alone kind of like make it pay for it, not make it pay for itself, but it really helps. If you're going to buy a load of stuff and you get the 10% discount, every little helps, especially if you are like an annual Disney goer, because we'll use that pass again before it wastes. We'll probably end up going again after Christmas, because you can never get too much Disney. It's just not possible. So next I'm going to move on to is accommodation. I'm going to try and remember off the top of my head all the prices. I have some of them, but I don't have all the prices. So one of the hotels that I've stayed in it twice now. It's not an hotel, it's like an apartment hotel. It's maybe like, it's like a 10-minute drive on the bus from Disneyland, and then it's like 5-10 minutes again from the shopping centre, the Val d'Europe shopping centre. So when I went with me, my ma, my brother and my brother's girlfriend, we went from the 28th of January to the 31st of January, and we stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment and the name of the hotel is Resident Du Parc Val d'Europe, and that was the second time I had stayed there. Before I stayed with Jen, Courtney and Megan, and we again had stayed for 4 nights. So that cost me, the time with my mum, it cost me €286 for the 4 of us, which is like really good price. It was a full apartment. We had a kitchen, we had a cooker, bathroom, 2 bedrooms and a fold out like sofa bed in the sitting room. So it was really helpful for us. The bus is right outside, it's €2 on the bus. to Disneyland. Obviously to stay for 4 nights, if you can afford it, definitely stay in a Disney hotel. I've stayed in Disney hotels before. I've stayed in the Santa Fe, I've stayed in the Davy Crockett, and I've stayed in the Dreamland? The DreamWorks? No, I think it's the Dream, or just the Dream Castle Hotel, and definitely it's worth it. The atmosphere is amazing. The theming of the mall is absolutely brilliant. I haven't stayed in the Santa Fe now since they turned it into the Cars Hotel, but before it was like really cool, and obviously the characters come and meet you in the hotel and everything, and it's a great experience. But obviously if you're going on a budget, or if it's a last minute trip, it's kind of easier to stay in the apartments that are around the area. So that one is one that I would definitely recommend. The staff were lovely, the hotel was clean, everything, it was absolutely lovely. The first time we ever went, we stayed in, I stayed in one called Park and Suite. It's actually across the road from the Resident du Parc. It's literally across the road from it, and that one provides a shuttle to the park. It's €2 on the shuttle return, and it goes every half an hour, I think, and the last one coming home is like a half an hour after the park closes. So that was great as well. That was a gorgeous hotel. Me and Jen had like a huge bedroom, 2 single beds. We had a sitting room with a pull-out sofa, a whole kitchen, a bathroom, and like the toilet is in a separate room, and then we had a balcony and everything, so it was absolutely lovely. Like I would highly recommend that, and I'm pretty sure that cost us 120 each, so it was like 240 for, I think we only went for 3 nights. But like, again, absolutely bargain, like, do you know what I mean? Some of the Disney hotels are like 130 a night, like, and obviously if you have it, do it. But if you're doing it on a budget, it can be a little bit pricey. The one we're staying in now in September is called High Park by Adagio. I can't pronounce it. But it's a 5-minute walk from the shopping centre, and it's a 10-minute walk to Disney, so it's perfect. We've never stayed in this one before. I'm pretty sure it has a pool. Hope it might be open. We're going in September. Some of them, when we went in the winter, obviously the pool was closed previously. Again, it's like an apartment, so we have like our own room, we have a sitting room and a kitchen and everything, because we don't really eat in the parks, which is like the something I'll get on to now in a few minutes. So yeah, definitely if you can afford it, obviously stay in one of the Disney hotels, but I would highly recommend having a look at some of the apartments, or the apart hotels as they're called, or that surround the area, because they're definitely worth it, and a lot of them are on the bus route or the train route. We stayed in the Ibis. Now we stayed in the budget Ibis, so the room was very basic. We had a bathroom, the bed, and like a telly, and that was it. Like, but a suite was fine. It's somewhere to put your head at the end of the night. But there are other Ibises around the area, which are like the different levels of Ibis that they have. And the Ibis that we stayed in was on the train line, so we literally walked outside, got on the train, and one stop you were at Disneyland. It literally took like 5 minutes. And it was perfect, so I would definitely recommend having a look at the hotels that surround the area. Now, the next thing I'm going to move on to is money. So if you're someone who's going to Disney on a budget and you're wanting to save yourself some cash, I would recommend these few little steps that will definitely not have you wasting money on things that you can spend on merch, because let's be real, one of the best parts of going to Disneyland is buying stuff. So bring lunch boxes with you. This is something that me and Jen, did I see it in someone else's video as like a travel tip? I'm pretty sure I saw it in someone else's video as a travel tip to bring lunch boxes. It just makes it so much easier. You can put stuff in it for the park. We'll go to the local shopping centre and we'll buy like bread, ham and cheese. Sometimes we'll get pasta, and like that you just make it, put it in the lunchbox, you have it for the day, and it kind of stops you from buying in the park. Now we usually, at least once a day, will eat somewhere in the park. We'll usually pick quick service from somewhere around the park. We've eaten in the Hakuna Matata restaurant. We've eaten in, oh, what is that one called? Is it the Outpost? The one that's like, it's between Indiana Jones and Frontierland. I think it's something Outpost. I'm trying to think where else we've eaten. We always treat ourselves to one big meal. Last year we went to the Plaza Gardens, I'm pretty sure it's called. Very fancy, but it's a buffet. Now the buffets are quite expensive in Disney. It's $35 per person, but it's so worth it. It's lovely. The food is really nice. It's a nice atmosphere. But 100%, if you can, bring your own food to the park. Even if it's just snacks and stuff, it just kind of stops you buying stupid things around the park. And obviously bring water, because you're gonna need it. Like, you're there doing 9-10 hours of walking, like, you need water, you need food. Bring your snacks, because in the park as well, like a bottle of Coke, now get me, I understand the price of things, it's the same in my job, but like a bottle of Coke is like £3, and popcorn and all the rest, like, it adds up. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously treat yourself. Again, if you have it, treat yourself. But these are just my little tips for you to save a bit of money. Next thing is buy everything you want on the last day. I learned this after the first trip, because on the first trip I burned through all my money and I had bought so much stuff that I couldn't even, like, I had to sneak a bag onto the plane. Most definitely, obviously, go around, have a look in all the shops, because the shops are amazing. Go look, have a look around at all the shops, and then think to yourself, right, what do I want and what can I not live without, but what maybe can I get the next trip, because a lot of the stuff is there and it's going to be there for a long time. Obviously, if it's limited edition or things like that, get it, but have a look and see what you can get on the last day. And that is one of my top tips, is see what you can get on the last day. See, like, keep everything in your mind and buy it on the last day. One, it helps you save money, because come the last day you realise, right, I didn't really want that pen, or I didn't really want that autograph book, or I didn't really want that 15th teddy that I wanted to pick out to buy. So it's better for you to just buy everything on the last day. Your brain has already processed some stuff you'll have forgotten about that you wanted in the moment but then didn't really want. So it's a great way for you to kind of like hone in the shopping addiction that we all have when it comes to Disney. See behind me, I have an absolute shopping addiction when it comes to buying Disney stuff. I collect Disney stuff. So when I see like ornaments and stuff like that in the park, I'm like, oh my god, I need it all. But it really helps just to buy it on the last day. And my last tip is something I've already touched on, which is use public transport. Taxis are extremely expensive in Paris, more expensive than here. The buses go to most of them pull into Disney because it's also the train station. Most of your hotels, if it's near enough to Disney, will provide a shuttle, and also if it's in walking distance you might as well just walk, and the train is there as well. The train is nothing. I think it was like 150 return or something for us to use the train, which is nothing, do you know what I mean? A taxi is going to cost you, we got it from one of the apartments to the shopping centre, and we were in the taxi for I'd say about 8 minutes and it was 15 quid. Robbery. Do you know what I mean? That's more expensive than it is here. I got a taxi from the airport, which is another thing. When you get to the airport, use the TGV, which is a train. It's a fast train that goes from the airport, which is Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is the best airport for you to fly into, but I'll get on to that in a minute. It goes straight from, put the book down, go straight from Charles de Gaulle Airport to Chessy, which is the train station at Disneyland. It works out it's different prices depending on the different times of day that you go. You like 20 quid return. The only issue I've ever had is that some of the days that we've gone to get it, we have gotten to the train station and they'll tell us, like, we've gotten to the station in the airport and the people will be like, oh no, there's no train for 2 hours, and we've ended up paying for taxis. It is easier if you are getting a taxi to book a private car. It works out a little bit cheaper for 4 people in a private car. We've done that once, which was like a whole story in itself. We basically got told by the airport that if we went we could get on a bus, and we came down the stairs, like get on a Disney bus that would bring us to Disney. We came down the escalator and there was a man standing there, we were like, are you just going to Disneyland? And we were like, oh yeah, thinking he was like the bus driver. And next of all, he like brought us out to the car park and was like, okay, get in. And we got in the van and didn't ask any questions, which is like so stupid. Don't do that. But it was, he was a private taxi. We paid 25 per person actually, now that I think about it. So it worked out at €100 for the 4 of us in a car. I was supposed to say 200 one way is very expensive. Yeah, so sorry, it was 25 per person one way, and obviously it's 50 return. And he brought us right to our hotel. He was a lovely man. It was our own, we were idiots who just were like, oh yeah, thinking like he was the bus driver, and we just got in his van and didn't ask any questions. Because he doesn't look like a taxi, it's a black Mercedes, like, you know, like the celebrity vans that they used to go to concerts and shit. That's what it was, and we all just, 4 of us got in the back of the car. We literally could have been on taken. Liam Neeson would have had to come and got us. The normal taxis, which is what we got sent to last time, and we assumed it was, so we didn't realise there was a difference between the private cars and the taxis. We thought they were both kind of the same thing, but one is kind of like a hackney and the other one is a taxi. If you're from Ireland, you'll get the difference. One is like a set fare, and the private cars are ran on a set fare and the taxis are ran on the meter. So when we got a taxi the last time, me and Jen ended up spending €85 to get to our hotel, which was like a cost that we didn't expect to have to pay. It was so expensive for the 2 of us. It took way longer than the private car took the time before, so he probably drove us around everywhere, and he was just a really, really rude driver. I think it came to like €85.20, and I didn't have the 20 cent, and he physically wouldn't let Jen out of the car until I went and got money out of a bank machine so he could have 20 cent. Like, he just wasn't a nice man. And I suppose, like, yeah, it's 20 cent and it is his fare, but in Ireland that wouldn't happen. They'd be like, oh, it's grand. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen like that here. So we were just like, don't advise to get taxis. Now, in terms of getting there, I always fly with Aer Lingus. It's just the airline that I know goes to Charles de Gaulle. I know people have flown with Air France. I've never used them before, but I'm pretty sure their costs might be a little bit more expensive with Air France because you get free drinks and stuff like that on the plane, which you don't with Aer Lingus. Aer Lingus is just your basic flight. You pay for your own stuff on flight if you want it. You obviously you can buy drinks and that in the airport. You can get a bottle of water for €1 in the airport. Get on the plane, you have it, it's grand. Air France, I'm pretty sure you get complimentary drinks, which is why the price would be a little bit more expensive. So this time going, we are doing the usual. We get the first flight out in the morning, which is at 20 to 7, and we get the last flight home, which is at 10 past 10. So we land in Dublin just after 12, and the other way we land in Paris just after 10 or after 9. There's a bit of a time difference, so I can't remember which exactly way it is, but it's costing us this time to fly out on the 10th of September. It is costing us 105 each return, and that does not include luggage. It includes our normal 2 10k carry-ons, and we're going to book in a bag at a later date. With Aer Lingus it's 25 each way, which is so much better than flying with Ryanair. Ryanair don't fly to Charles de Gaulle, they fly to Beauvais, the other airport, which is like a little bit out, so you would have to get transport from there to Disney, which is like a longer process. And with Ryanair, your bag each way for 15k, it's €50 each way. So it works out better just to fly with Aer Lingus. And we've flown with Aer Lingus so many times, we know what way it works, we know which terminals we end up in, all that jazz, we trust it. That is everything I think that I was for my tips and tricks. I will have more Disney videos coming up because I plan to do packing videos and everything the like. But yeah, I'm so excited to go. I literally cannot wait. It's been too long. I need to go home to Disney. I need to see the castle where I want to live. I need to see the parades. I need to see the fireworks. I don't think they've changed it since the last time I was there. I think it's still Illuminations, which is like so pretty. I cried. And this time we go, it's going to be a little bit warmer because I remember the last time we went, I was wearing 2 pairs of leggings, a top, a jumper, a jacket, a scarf, a hat, gloves, the whole shebang, fluffy socks, everything, because it was freezing. But this time it'll be so much better because it'll be a bit warmer. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe down below. It means the absolute world to me. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up and I will be so appreciative of it. And don't forget to come back to see more of my Disney videos and my other little vlog videos and all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all. Slán.